My name is Nadia Affendi, A167534. My instructor will be Professor Madya Dr. Mohd Sallehhudin. Today, I will be presenting for the proposal of my final year project. The title of my proposal will be The Students' Reading Behavior Towards the Violent Content in Malaysian Folktales, an eye-tracking study. This study is a continuation from the past study done by Carter et al. 2020 that used Grimm Brothers fairy tales. 3 fairy tales were selected in that study to be translated from Spanish to English, which means it is translated from L2 to L1. Then it is adopted into Malaysia's context by using Malaysia's local folktales. 3 local folktales will be chosen and will be translated from English to Malay. This current study aims to investigate the effect of violent content present in folktales towards the readers while doing the translation task. The statement of problem in this study will be there is lack of research done in the area of local folktales regarding reading behaviors. Most past studies done was about local folktales, but only about their storyline or plots, myths, and also moral values. Besides, less studies done in the correlation between the violent content in local folktales or in folktales and the post-traumatic disorder. Next, we move on to the objectives and research questions of the study. First one, to analyze the reading behaviors of the readers towards the violent content of the texts. Second, to identify the influence of language proficiency in the translation task. And the last one will be to relate the effects of violent content in the translation task. Therefore, the research questions of the study will be: the first one, what are the reading behaviors of the students towards the violent contents of the text? Second, how does the participants' language proficiency influence the translation task? And finally, how does the violent content in folktales affect translation task? Next is the significance of the study. This study is done to look at the reading behaviors of the readers towards the violent content of Malaysian folktales. Secondly, limited studies were done in Asian folktales. Therefore, this study will be the foundation to other studies to be done in further, so that more studies will be looked at according to reading behavior and folktales. Besides, this study also wants to look at the effect of violent content in folktales towards the readers with their own experience. In this study, the participants will be given a post-traumatic disorder survey after the translation task in order to relate the violent contents present in the folktales with the reader's own experience a month prior to the translation task. So that is the literature review part. In this part, there will be 3 subheadings. The first one is the reading behavior towards violent content. The second one is the violent content in folktales. And the last part will be the eye-tracking usage in reading behavior and translation study. Hence, in this literature review part, comparisons from past studies will be made in order to be guidance and also to make comparison with this current study. The theoretical framework that will be used in this study is the cognitive information processing theory. The main idea of this theory is the process of thoughts from the behavior. Skills and knowledge of the participants or readers is reflected through their behaviors, and these behaviors is known or can be only observed when they receive an information, and it is different from behaviorism theory that they only react when there is a stimuli. Therefore, those behaviors are said that they reflect on what is happening on the reader's mind, or it is known as the cognitive process. The final part of this presentation will be the methodology part. 30 students from the English Language Studies course from the Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities will be chosen to join this study. The procedures have 4 steps. The first one is the language history questionnaire, that is to gain more information on the demographic, language, and also education background. The second one is the translation task by using the eye tracker, where the participants have to translate 3 selected folktales from English to Malay. The third step will be the RTA interview, where the researcher will do the interview with the participants to gain more information and deeper understanding on the difficulties faced by the readers, and also the skills that they use during the translation task. And the final part or final procedure of the methodology will be the post-traumatic disorder survey or PTSD survey. This survey is only to identify the symptoms of the disorder, and if the participants need further help from the professionals, they can use the survey to get help. Therefore, I think that is all for the presentation of my proposal for the final year project, with the title of the students' reading behavior towards the violent content in Malaysian folktales and eye tracking study. Thank you.